Today, let's review and test some off-road lighting. This is the new Auxito 7-inch round off-road flood and spot pod light, and we're going to see all the details and do some testing. But I will say this, my initial tests show that this is a light monster. Let's check it out. Hello everyone and welcome back to Car Light Reviews, where I perform consistent automotive light tests to help you make the best purchase decision, see better and be seen better when driving, and of course save you some money. So far I've been reviewing LED headlight upgrades on this channel, but many of you have been asking me to test off-road lighting as well. So I will do that, starting with this, the new Auxito 7-inch round LED off-road spot and flood pod lights. My very first LED review video I ever did a long time ago was for an Auxito LED headlight. And as technology evolved, so did my review and test methods, and that eventually led me to making this channel, Car Light Reviews. And since then, I've tested many Auxito LED headlight upgrades, so I think it's only appropriate that for my first review and test of off-road lighting, that it be this, the newest that Auxito has to offer. Now this should be fun, and it will be a bit different than the LED headlight upgrade tests that you're used to seeing on this channel, because simply by nature, off-road lights serve a very different purpose. But you will see some similarities on how I test and review. So having said that, we're going to get these things out of the box and get a good look at them, and then talk about the specifications, and then do some lux pattern testing. Let's get rocking. Now as you see, they come as a pair. So here's what you get. Obviously, you get two lights, you get two short harnesses, two mounting brackets, and I've got one partially assembled. I'll install it on one so you can see what it looks like. And then you get two Auxito windshield banners with installation tool. And optional is a 14 AWG 11.5 foot wiring harness kit to give you a complete setup if you don't already have a harness installed. And that comes with the rocker switch, a relay, the fuse, positive and negative ring terminals, and the end connectors that replace the short connectors. Now taking a closer look at one of these, this is a pretty big old light. Typical universal design to mount on a bumper or a roll bar or a bull bar or whatever you can drill a hole into and mount them. 7 inches round, not including the bracket mounting area here, and just under 3.5 inches deep. It does have these protective bars here on the front, bolts to hold them on. It's not cheap feeling at all. It's not flimsy, and it is heavy. 3 pounds, 12 ounces each. Not too light at all, so that's why it needs a good heavy-duty, sturdy mounting point. It has this alloy housing and a UV-resistant powder coat, and you can see that there's a lot going on here with the white output area, and then you have these two amber DRLs that are pretty cool and can be wired up a couple of different ways. I'll show you later. Now, Auxito says that these optics are patented, and you do get a combination of flood and spot behind impact-resistant polycarbonate lenses. And taking a closer look, these are sometimes what are called half-bowl reflector designs. It's kind of a newer style that has the emitter pointing straight down or straight up into a reflector area for each emitter that's kind of shaped like a ramp. And what that does is it collects the light and then directs it forward. And you've probably started to notice them on OEM headlights and fog lights because this is the design that the manufacturers are now using. What makes this good is that it doesn't lose any light output through a lens like a projector, but it still focuses the light where it needs to be, as each emitter, as I mentioned, has its own dedicated reflector area. Here it has a pretty nice thick cable, and the heatsink has some pretty deep fins to radiate the heat away. And to help with heat, it does have an integrated thermal management system. Now, as you can see, there's no fan like an LED headlight has. It uses passive cooling, and I'll be doing a heat test later on in this video to see how hot these get over time. It does have a breathable film right here to release any condensation that might collect inside of it. It has reverse polarity protection, over and under voltage protection, RFI and EMI protection, and it is shockproof and vibration proof. And one thing that I didn't even notice at first until now is this cool little accent here and here at the top. That's a nice touch. Adding the bracket on the bottom adds just under an inch to the total height. And it does have a fastener on each side to lock down the angle. Comes with a little wrench in case you need it. And you can position it 30 degrees fore and aft if you need to for that perfect fit. And as you can see here, it does have this optional rubber base to protect what it gets mounted on. Now let's talk about the published specifications of this. Auxito says that these have 90 watts each and are good for 12,000 lumens each. The emitters are 18 white Osram SMD emitters in 6000K. Now the box says 5700K, but the website says differently. And it does have 2 amber emitters in 3400K. Has an IP rating of 68, an hour rating of 50,000, a warranty through Auxito for 2 years, and the price at the time before discounts per pair is $299.99. And if you add $26.99, you get that optional harness kit that I showed you before. Now, I think that this is a decent price point for something like this. I mean, sure, you can spend a lot more if you need pro-level stuff, or a lot less if you need some cheapos that you probably won't get anything out of. But this price seems right for most people that are watching this video. And it is only available at this time on the Auxito website, not Amazon and not eBay. And at the end of this review, if you decide to pick up a pair, please use the links that I provide in the description. It helps me to make more just like this one at no additional cost or effort to you. And as a reward, I'll give you a coupon code. So check the description, and I appreciate it very much. So now I'm going to hook one of these up to my power supply and show you how it can be connected. So using one of the short waterproof connectors, black is ground, yellow is the amber lens, and red is the main white output. So if you want, you can tap the yellow light to your headlight or auxiliary light, like that, and have them turn on in unison as DRLs, or you can just wire them to come on with the white output by combining them both together. Like that. It's already getting really, really hot right here. They sure do look bright, but we're going to do some lux testing a bit later in this video to see just how bright they actually are in my standard lux test. 598 lux, and look at that beam pattern. But that lux measurement is deceptive. Now you might think that you want to compare this number to the headlight tests that I do on this channel, and if you did, you would see that this number is actually lower than a halogen H11 light in my test environment. But that's not really a fair comparison. They call this an off-road light for a reason, because it's a different kind of light pattern. It's meant to shine much farther and broader in all directions than a headlight. So the light is not quite as focused as a headlight. In fact, this should never be used as a headlight or a supplement to headlights when you're on the road, because there is no cutoff line. And if you did, you would very likely cause a situation that is both extremely dangerous for you and oncoming traffic. Again, the main function of this light output is for off-road use only. Let me show you why. Here's my backyard during the day, and those trees back there are around 50 feet away. And when the sun goes down, we're going to fire one of these up and see how the beam lands on them. And the sun went down, and it is a typical hot southern night here. Now, this is to view the light pattern and not brightness, because my conditions here are surely different than yours. Let's hit it. Now you can see why these should never, ever be used for headlights. The pattern is quite intense at 50 feet and has both spot and flood to illuminate the very wide and high area. But they are indeed bright at a distance, no question. I mean, if you look, it's just blowing out my fence right there at 25 feet. And look at the trees there at 50 feet, even up there. Quite amazing. And this is just one light. Imagine having 2 of these on the front of your vehicle. So I don't currently do this in my LED headlight upgrade reviews because, as I mentioned, your environment will be different than mine, but also the human eye and typical cameras are not reliable in any way to use to determine bright and or usable light output, like this. They both adjust according to the brightness levels. This is why I rely so much on data. While it's not exactly as exciting, but it is what tells the real story for actual brightness. So if you've been watching this channel for a while, what do you think? Should I start testing LED headlights like this? This way? Do you think it will mislead people if they only pay attention to this part and not the actual data? Let me know in the comments why or why not. Now, I am considering it, but I make no promises. I just don't want people to miss the facts and buy junk products because it looks good on video, but the facts don't actually tell the real story. Okay, the bugs are immediately attracted to this, and I need to get back inside. As mentioned, there is a published rating of 90 watts per light, and I observed 80.6 in my testing. And for heat management, after 1 hour of runtime, my FLIR thermal camera recorded 132 degrees Fahrenheit or 55.6 degrees Celsius. But this is with no air moving around in my test environment. And since these are expected to be mounted on the front of a vehicle, I'm assuming that if you're moving or even outside with a slight breeze, the temperature will be lower than that. So for my first off-road light review on this channel, what do you think? You want to see more like this in the future? And if so, what do you want to see? As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And oh yeah, also, let me know what you think of these lights specifically. As always, thank you for the suggestions and the support of Car Light Reviews, and thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you to choose the right lighting upgrades for your off-road needs so you can enjoy your car more and save you money. And be sure to keep your headlights aimed correctly and drive safely, responsibly, and respectfully by keeping your off-road lights turned off when on the road. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video.